with the news on.
Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm about to get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informing, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got your underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with peasant needles. So lethal means Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up. And the snake hits, get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up. If I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession.
Happy Thursday, everybody. How you guys doing? Happy February. What are we on what day is this? The 6th day of February, right? Right? How are y'all? I hope you all had a great day. I am happy to be here with you guys on tonight. And I hope you're happy to be here with me on tonight. And we're going to have some good conversation on tonight. We're going to vibe. We're going to chill. We're going to chop it up a little bit. I feel like I'm crooked. I can't get my life together. See what's happening here, right? I'm saying, y'all, help us sister out. Help us sister out. Feel crooked. Feel crooked. Thank you, Auntie. I feel real crooked right now. Anyway, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy February. Happy 2025. I'm glad to be here. Thank God. Thank God for life, for health, for strength, and cheers and kudos to all of you. So welcome to Thursday night with me, your girl, the one and only Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, the greatest network to ever exist on any YouTube channel. Sorry, not sorry, y'all, but we got it going on over here. And we are grateful for that. So on tonight, we're going to have a little, maybe one-on-one discussion. In February, it's big on Valentine's Day, and everybody's doing this extra stuff for love and in love and wanting love. They don't pay no attention to my bun. I don't know what's happening up there. But anyway, February is the month that we really push the point of love, right? We always, flower sales go up, chocolate sales go up, teddy bear sales go, all that other gifting, it just all that stuff. But we're going to talk about love tonight. And hopefully some of my peoples will come through. But you know how we do here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. We keep it pushing, we keep it pressing, and we always going to have good and great conversation. So I want you guys to make sure you are chiming in the chat on tonight. Please like, subscribe, and share. It is free 99 to hit that little thumbs up button, but it means everything to us here at the network because it helps to push our content out into this great world in which we live, and it can get to more people because at the end of the day, we want to help others, right? It's not just about us, it's about helping others. Well, here on Thursday nights with me, a girl, Lady Dawn B, we just come to have real conversation with real resolutions so that we can show up into our spaces as the best version of ourselves each and every day. We'll, never be perfect, but that doesn't mean we can't press towards being better, right? So the greatest relationship, while we're improving them, is showing up in our best selves. We get to improve our relationships with our significant others, with our families, with our friends. But the most important relationship we want to improve is the one with ourselves. So we have just open dialogue. We don't profess to be experts, although some of us who are here are certified and licensed as counselors, therapists, pastors, all type of things. We got it all here. But on Thursday nights, we just come to chill and chat and talk from our well of experience, right? So, of course, we would not be here tonight without this amazing woman that I call my Auntie Bravo. She is the queen bee here at the Bravo with Sheila Network, none other than Pastor Sheila Ingram herself, and we give her a big bravo. Thank you for always yielding me this captain's chair every Thursday night to share and engage in great conversation with you, and we love and appreciate her. So I want to greet some people in the building before we move forward. But again, please like, subscribe, and share. And I would appreciate it greatly. So, of course, right after Pastor Sheila, we have who the greatest moderator to ever do it in these YouTube streets. If you're going to be the greatest channel that's on these YouTube streets, you have to have the greatest moderator, right? It only makes sense. Excellence par excellence. So we give greetings and much love to the beautiful Inne Kenya's in the building. As always, she moderates these comment sections. She makes sure no one comes in or goes out without a hello or goodbye being acknowledged. And we appreciate her so much. We love you. Nobody else could do what you do the way you do it. So thank you, Inne, for what you do. I appreciate you, as all of us do here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. She's all ours, y'all. We not sharing. And hey, we got my little sis Kristen in the building on tonight. Good to see you, sis. So glad that you popped in. You're gonna hang out with your big sis for a little bit, and then later on tonight we're gonna do what we do, in our other spaces. But for tonight, for this little while, we're gonna be right here. And of course, Inne, our moderator, is greeting Kristen. And then we have none other than my Auntie Bravo, Pastor Sheila herself, saying, "You look beautiful." Thank you, Auntie. I'm trying to, show up, do it right. Making sure we do it right for the 2025, because it's a new year, it's a new day, and we want to make sure that we are moving along with the times, right? Right. So let's see what she said. Yes, of course, I'm here to support my big sis. Oh, thank you, baby girl. I love it. I love it. That's right. That's my little sis, my big sis, and we roll together. So I appreciate you being in the building. So you guys, please like, subscribe, and share, because when you like, subscribe, and share, it allows you to be a part of this great family. And you'll get alerted. Make sure your notifications are on so that you're alerted to every conversation with content that is had here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. And while we're talking about that, make sure you tune in on Monday nights for my network compadres, as well as being my writing mentors with the greatest writing group to ever do it on this side of heaven. That's right. Harlem Girls Forever, Harlem Girls Inc. Forever. That's it. Those are the ladies that I write with. They are co-founded, and they are Monday podcasting mates on Mondays Beyond the Mic at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. So like, subscribe, and share so that you don't miss any bit of any of these great conversations. We also have Pastor Sheila over here laying it down. Sometimes she'll come over, just start dropping gems. Anywhere she is, I guarantee you there's going to be some gems. So make sure that you come with your bag empty so you have room to get all of your goody goods and all your nuggets. Okay, make sure you do. And while we're at it, I just want to mention that here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, while we are not a Christian-based network, although those of us who do come up on the panel, we are primarily believers. But however, we do respect, we do encourage, we do accept, and we do welcome everyone's beliefs, no matter what they are. Whatever your moral compass is, we appreciate you. In your authenticity, we respect you, and we encourage you to engage in the conversation and to comment along with us. You are welcome here. However, the number one rule we have at the Bravo with Sheila Network is respect. Okay, we do respect each other. We can debate respectfully. We can discuss respectfully, and we can even talk. But it always has to be what? Respectfully, right? Because whatever your moral compass is, we want to honor that. So with that being said, I am a believer. So, whatever conversation you get with me, you're going to get a little Jesus, because I'm a God's girl. So you're always going to be a little Jesus. But I also want to add that if you do need some encouragement, if you do need a word, a song, a prayer, or just some fellowship, you can go right across the street. That's right. It doesn't matter whichever way you go. Either way, you're going to get across the street, right? You're going to go over to the Bravo, not the Bravo. I'm over here on the Bravo. You're going to go over to the Sheila Ingram Ministries channel. That network over there is strictly God, strictly the Lord, strictly Jesus, all day, every day. And you have the amazing, again, Pastor Sheila over there. She shares with the Kabod. She shares through music, through meditation, through prayers, through soaking. I believe the soaking, time of soaking is referred to her time of prayer, where she's sharing scriptures, verses. I'm telling you, just go on over there and just go get something good over there. Okay. But it's right across the street, and she pops on, and you want to subscribe, and share that channel as well, because she pops on. This is about every day of the week. There is something that is going on from early sunrise to sunset. On Tuesdays, you have my mom. Yep, my mom who pushed me out. I am her 4 of 4. I am the last one that she pushed out. Pastor Rosa, she is over there on Tuesdays sharing a great word at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you also have on Fridays at 11 a.m. Typically, you have the Women of Grace, who is Pastor Sheila, Pastor Rosa, and my Auntie Jenny. I call her AKA my Auntie Gangster. The three of them are on at 11 a.m. and they are the Women of Grace, and they are breaking down the women of the Bible. I promise you, you will find yourself somewhere in there. Okay, so two amazing networks with two amazing areas that we share in. And so please subscribe, and share. And for those of you who are up in the silent section, okay, who are in the expensive seats, I just want to say hi to you too. We see you while we don't see you, but we know that you're there. And we always want to welcome you and tell you to come on down to the comment section. I promise you it's safe down here. I promise. We have security and everything. It's okay. So come on down, say hello. Let us greet you properly and welcome you into this space. Oh, and I knew some oil was in the room. I would love for her to come up here. I'm going to get her up here one of these days. As a matter of fact, in March, don't tell her, but in March, I'm going to get her up here, because March, we're celebrating the women. That's what we're doing. But we see you. Pastor Tammy Repton is in the house. She is my other sister. She's my other mom sister. I call her mom sister, sister mom. Mama T is in the building. Thank you for tuning in, Mama T. I love you so much. And I am glad that you are here with me on tonight. So tonight, guys, we are setting off the month of February, as we said, with a little bit of a talk about love. Now, we might have some of my other people that may come through, like I said earlier, but if not, it's okay. We all right. We moving on, because that's what we do. But I wanted to share about love. We'll talk about love because, Kirk Franklin has a song that says that love's a word that comes and goes, but few people really know what it means to really love somebody, right? And I think we can all attest to that. We've all been in love, out of love, fell in love, and rolled down the hill in love, stumbled in love, chose to love, made decision love, and then I decided I don't want to love no more. But that's not really the basis of love. That's not really what love does. That's not really how love should act. I believe that love is a choice. Love is a decision, and it's one that you continue to make every day. When I get up in the morning, I choose to love you and everything that comes with you, not even knowing what the day is going to bring, not even knowing what we're going to experience, but every day I choose to love you. And it's of a conscious choices. It should not be by deception. It should not be under misconceptions, but it should be a choice. And we should allow each other the opportunity and the option to love one another. Why? Because you're lovable. And my pastor always says, we say, we love you. And she said, you should, because I'm lovable. And I agree with that statement. We should. So tonight I'm going to share a little bit with you from one of the very first books that I ever wrote. It's called Loving You Is Hurting Me. Let me get in the circle. Loving You Is Hurting Me. This is one of the very first, this is not one of, this is the very first book I ever co-authored with the amazing ladies of Harlem Inc. I'm like, the circle is tripping me out, so I'm sorry if I'm doing this the wrong way. Y'all see me? I'm right there. That's not me. That's me. That's me right there. Yeah. But this is the ladies who have written in this book. This book is published. It is out. And it's called Loving You Is Hurting Me. And it is a book where we are sharing our experiences of being in situations where we are loving people, but the act of loving people is what's hurting us. Where we are sacrificing some more of ourselves than we even have to give. And love should never exhaust everything that you are and everything that you have. This was an amazing book to be a part of. It is out. I believe we have it out on Amazon. And if you should choose that you want to purchase it, you can connect and we can talk about that later. But for right now, we're going to talk about love. We're going to get the month of February started, because once we're able to define what love is and what love looks like, and how we should experience it, we're able to make better choices and we're able to make better decisions. And I learned that firsthand because of my experiences in love. So I want to read a little bit of this first chapter to you. Well, actually it's short, so I'm gonna read the whole thing and then we can dialogue a little bit. If you're out there, come on, put love into the comment section for me. Just put a little LOVE. Let me know you're still with me. All right. So this chapter is called What I Thought Love Was. And it starts out with a verse from 1 Corinthians 13:7. And this is not church. This is not church. We're not having church. We just talking. Thank you, Pastor T. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, guys. Okay. We're going to talk about love, because sometimes I'm big on definitions. So I want to ask, when you talk about you love me, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that look like for you? What are we talking about when you're saying that you love me? Sorry, my sparkles has gotten caught on each other. I'm having a rough time here tonight, y'all. Messing myself up. All right. So again, when we're talking about love, we need to clarify what that is, because sometimes the way we think we should be loved, or our perception of love, is not the same as somebody else's perception of love. But yet you're walking around saying that you love each other, and and then you're wondering why you feel disappointed, or your expectations are not met, or you are imbalanced. Well, because you have different meanings and different definitions of love that y'all never talked about. So I didn't know when you said you love me that you meant it this way, and I meant it that way. So it's important that we have communication and talk about what love is. But this chapter starts, again, is what I thought love was. And I started with a scripture from 1 Corinthians 13:7 that says, love never gives up. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. That's what love does. My words are, I'm not exactly sure what I thought love was, because my definition of love changed so many times. Outside of God's love, I never understood what real love meant. I know that no one can love us like God does, but I never attempted to use his love as a guide in my choices. I simply accepted whatever a person offered. That's a problem right there, right? It's a true story. I thought I had to sacrifice myself in order to grow someone else. If I poured into, supported, pushed, and loved them with all that I had, it would be enough to fill them up and help them become what I saw in them, what they couldn't see in themselves. Anybody been there before? You see more in a person than they see in themselves. And we're thinking that we can just, push them to be something that they are not ready to be. True story. I thought I had enough love for both of us to survive and grow until the other person was able to stand and be strong, full, and focused. It was okay if they had nothing to give back. Wrong. It was okay if they had nothing to give back, because one day they would be able to replenish what I put in. Goodness gracious. I was sowing now for later, because love doesn't abandon the other person. Love holds each other down through the rough times. Love isn't always balanced. Sometimes you give more than you receive, and you shouldn't give anything you can't afford to go without. I thought love was packaged in a pretty little box with the perfect bows, and inside were puzzle pieces that had to be put together in order to make two individuals into one picture. You had to work to put the pieces together because sometimes you'd pick the wrong piece and it wouldn't fit. Anybody been there before? Say that's me. I thought I was being compassionate until my spiritual mom clarified things for me. And I quote, "Compassion doesn't hurt you in the end." She said, "What you have," she's talking to me, "what you have is a twisted sense of loyalty," she emphasized. What a wow moment that was for me. I walked away from that relationship with a hard reality check and knowing that my way of giving and receiving love was very off. And that is my first chapter in this book, Loving You Is Hurting Me. I'm throwing off with this up, y'all. And this was true. It's really my story of a marriage that I was in. And I really did not know what love was, how to really gauge what love is. Oh, look who's in the building. Hey, Vaughn, how you doing? Is that blessings all with 12,000 L's? How are you? How are you? How are you? It's good to see you, Vaughn, the Invisible Man. Eric, how are you? If you want to come up on tonight, you can come up and share in the conversation if you would like. Tonight is Simple Talk. We're talking about love. What love is, what love does, what love feels like, what we should expect in love. And you know it is all love with me and you. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. If you want to come up, I'll drop you the link and come on in and share from a man's point of view. But I wrote this chapter after reflecting all my life. I had been to therapy and I've been to church and all that good stuff, but I had to realize that that I was not giving myself the chance to really be loved properly, and what my perception of love was. And again, we're not a Christian-based network, but again, because I'm a God's girl, you're gonna get a little Jesus with me, and my moral compass is God. So I didn't know enough or didn't think enough at the time that it would be fair for me to expect someone to love me in the same way that God did. Because, you know, God is love. God, you know, he forgives all and all that good stuff. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes to relationships, how many of us really expect for someone to forgive us of everything that we do? For someone to not necessarily overlook, but to love us beyond our mistakes. And how often, not even so much that, how often are we willing to love somebody beyond their own mistakes? We can pause for that for a second. You know, some mistakes are great, some mistakes are small, but in the midst of it all, love really has to be something that we are committed to. This is all good. Right? Because we want people, we tend to look at things always from the side of us being victimized or from us being the recipient. But what about when it's time to give? What about when it's time to give love and what love really is and what it really means? Love is a commitment. It's not something you choose to do today and then forget about tomorrow. It's not that at all. Love is a choice that we make. We commit ourselves to our jobs and we go above and beyond for our jobs, right? Pastor Tammy says, right. And we'll go, you know, up and down. We'll go to the ends of the earth just to satisfy the request or the needs or the requirements of what happens on our jobs. And we do the same thing in our spaces of community, of fellowship, right? We push ourselves beyond the extreme to show up for every service and every rehearsal and everything that's asked of us to do. We show up and we do. Why? We say because we love what we do, or we love the church, or whatever your moral compass is. We go above and beyond, and we show up in these spaces, in these places. Even when we're hurt, we show up. Even when we are disappointed, we show up. Even when we are discouraged, we still show up. But what about the choices that we make in love with each other every day? How come it could be the smallest thing and we are quick to not be forgiving, or we're quick to give up, or we're quick to walk away from something that we said or someone that we said we loved? Like, is that really love? Let's think. I'm gonna wait. I'll give you a minute. Hey, sis. That's my other little sis behaving in the house on tonight. I wish she was up here talking about this love thing with me. I really do. I know she's traveling, but we see you in the building. Thank you for popping in, Haven. You know, she encourages me very strongly. She does with her behavior, but I love her. But as we're talking about love, as we're talking about what love really means and what it really does, what it really looks like. A lot of times we think that love is just these butterflies and great dates and big vacations and, you know, wonderful gifts. But the truth of the matter is that that is not what love is. Those are expressions and things that we do to express how we feel towards whom we love. But really, love is meant for the harder times. It's easy to love each other when everything is going good, when everything is great, and when it's sunshiny out, right? Because there's no challenge there. There's nothing to there's nothing for us to press towards. There's nothing for us to have to come together and reason about. Why? Because everything is going well. But what about those times? What do we use in the times when adversity comes, when financial troubles come, when misunderstandings come? Those are the spaces where we need to use love, because according to, again, my beliefs and what I read is that, you know, love covers. It covers. It doesn't leave you hanging out there. It doesn't leave you abandoned. It doesn't throw you out, but it covers. Now, I'm not saying that in all cases that means that you just have to stick into a situation that is not beneficial for you, that is not feeding you, and that's not serving you. That's not what I'm saying either. But I am saying that love is patient, and we have to learn how to be patient with each other, with one another. Love is kind. It shows kindness sometimes, even when people are not being kind to us. We still have to take a moment and learn to be kind to other people. And do so in love and out of love. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this chapter topic of what I thought love was. Now, before we even experienced, you know, when we were young in relationships, you know, you're 16 and in high school, and it's the first boyfriend or first girlfriend, and you just overwhelmed with all these feelings, and you keep thinking, you saying that's love, and you've been in love, right? Never experienced nothing before, right? Anybody else been there? I know I have, you know, and don't know nothing about life, but this is love. And we deem it that because of all the emotions that we are having at a particular time, right? But those emotions don't necessarily mean that it is love. Love has to be tested, I believe, and love has to be shown. It proves itself through the hard times. It's easy for people to stick with us when everything is great and everything is wonderful and it's all sunshiny, you know. But who's going to walk in the rain with you when you have no umbrella? I'll wait. Who's gonna stick with you when there's no money in the bank? You know, or you got $20 between you and y'all got to eat for 3 days. So that means what we gonna do? We got to put it together. That's right, sis. Whew, that's right. You know, what are we gonna do? Where's the love going to be then? You know, I wanted to start off the month of February with this talk about love, so that as we go through the month, we are more conscious, and we are more aware on how we're loving and who we're loving and what that love looks like. Because there's many different levels of love. There are many different kinds of love. You know, there's brother, sister, there's mother, father, there's, you know, parent, there's sibling, there's child, there's love of friends, there is, you know, love of things. You know, it's so diverse, you know, it's multifaceted. And right, sis. Talking about the high school love, that's just hormone changes, right? It's just your hormones coming to life, making to let you know that they are there. They are woke now, right? And it is not love, but we think it is. We think it is because our heart is so full. And just because our heart becomes full, it doesn't mean that is all necessarily love. It is feeling, and it's a lot of emotion, but love, oh gosh, here we go. Vaughn Eric said, I was thrown out of the house because of love. Where are you, Vaughn? Jesus. Were you thrown out of the house, or was it a window situation? Who threw you out? We gonna get him. We gonna go get him. I hope you were, but I could believe it. Vaughn has some of the best stories, some of the best stories that you will ever hear. But we do. We think about these things and these experiences that we have. And welcome everyone, welcome in, welcome to Thursday Night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo and Sheila Network. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and share to this channel. It is free 99. It is a small task, a small favor for us to ask of you. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means everything to us because it helps us to get our information out there and into chasing to handsome more people. Vaughn says he was thrown out both the door and the window. Well, my goodness. Well, which one went first? Oh, because of love. That wasn't love, Vaughn. That was not love. That was a case of what the book says, loving you is hurting me. Okay? That's what that was. Don't do it. Don't go back there. But as we're going through this month, I mean, really think about what love really means to you. And I hope this is helping to make some sense on tonight, because we have to start learning to love differently. In these days and times, people are going through so much, the pressures of life, the weight of our social climate, cultures, that just all the things that are happening, the way the world is turning. And we all need to be mindful of loving one another, loving our brothers and our sisters, loving our neighbors, like just because people are so despondent and stressed out over the things that are happening in the world. So when we're talking about love and we're thinking about love, we don't get the expression of love and love confused, because people can buy you gifts and treat you to things and say that is in love, but yet turn around and mishandle you. Sometimes you would turn around and flowers that you see that are on your coworker's desk every week. She's getting some new. Vaughn said he was thrown out the door first, then the window. All because of love. My gosh. What? In order for you to go out the window, that means you had to go back in the house and threw you out the door. Like, what is going on, Vaughn? What the world is happening? Oh my goodness. I love it. But we have to remember that sometimes when you see your coworker, with those flowers every month or every 2 weeks, and just, oh girl, your husband and your man must really love you. That's so sweet. He's always sending her flowers, or vice versa. Men always, yeah, your lady must really care about you. She's always sending you a gift or always buying you the best. You don't know what's motivated behind those gifts. We don't know what's motivated behind those presents, because sometimes those are apologies. And they're apologies for people who are not loving us properly. From people who are not handling us with the care that we deserve. So before you get envious of what you are seeing, you need to make sure that the motive behind it is positive and not negative. But there are things that we thought that love was, right? Pastor Tammy says, absolutely. They look pretty. They look really, really pretty. But do not be fooled. Haven says we have to be careful not to fall for the social media facade. That part. Because everything you see on social media is not love, it's money. Money can buy a whole lot of things. But it cannot, and I believe this is the old saying, it cannot buy you love. It can buy a whole lot, but it can't. It might be able to buy you company for some time, but it will never buy you the love that we really are looking for, and it's love that satisfies us. Vaughn is a mess. He said, door moved, then the window, shaking my. Well, we're going to set up some sessions for you with Pastor Sheila because you need to talk about these things. Don't. we not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. But right, Haven, we have to be very careful not to fall for the social media side, right? And don't base what you believe or feel as love based on what you're seeing on social media. Everybody expresses things differently, and sometimes it's just for the camera. Some people's lives is like a permanent photo shoot, and it is as loveless as it can be, you know, when it comes from the heart. They may be loving to give you things, you may be loving to receive things, and that may be their love and their love language, but it's not, you know, the heart-based love that we are looking for. Pastor Tammy says that's just a love language, right? Gifts and acts of services, those are love languages, a way that we express love. But love is something that is from the heart. And I firmly believe that when you love someone, one of the things that we really have to consider is how we talk to one another. Your mere words, you know, I know when growing up, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. Well, that's not true. Words can hurt because words linger. Words leave a mark. They do leave scars. They leave mental scars. They leave emotional scars. They leave spiritual scars. You know, words can echo. A lot of us get stuck in not being loved properly. This is the crazy thing, but true. Because the first person that we ever dated when we were 15 broke our heart. So we are walking around with the scar of a 15-year-old, and we're now 45. I'll let that one sit. All right. We do experience those things. We're walking around with the scar of our first heartbreak that wasn't love as we supposed, because we didn't even know what love was, but that's what we labeled it. And now we're 45 and still angry about it and still feeling not valuable, not worthy of being loved properly. And we have to learn how to heal past those things. Haven said, it's like Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Exactly. It's just like that. You are mad, you are angry, you are frustrated over things that have happened over what one person did in your life. And now years have gone by, and that one scar is what you allow to encapsulate you not to be able to move forward and be loved. We give power to the thought of the people, thinking that it was them, that they were right, and that we are not. But real love speaks life to you. Real love lifts you up. Real love shows up and does not abandon us. You know, that's what real love does. Vonnery says, yes, I watch plenty of Dr. Phil and Oprah to get over that love. Well, I'm glad for that. I am glad that you did. Keep watching, and keep watching it. Okay, watch some replays. All right, but I'm glad you got over that. I'm glad you could talk about it now. You talk about it now where it doesn't hurt, right? Where it's not burning a hole in your chest. I'm glad for that. Vaughn, you should be up here cutting up. Haven says communication can be a relationship killer and a love deterrent. Yes, it can. That's very good. Thank you for that, Haven. It really can be. Communication is so important because we have to, it brings that understanding of how people are thinking, how they're feeling. It allows us to, embrace how a person is, and it allows you to make the choice of, is this someone that I have the capacity to love? And is this someone who has the capacity to love me back? When we communicate, we are exchanging our information. And if it's that I don't like when you do this, or I like when you do that, and I believe it or not, no answer or no response is a response and is a form of communication. I remember my best friend who just passed away, Elaine. She used to come on the show. She actually started out, was one of my very first guests, but we had a conversation. We would always have kind of, love heated debates, heated discussions. We didn't argue, we had heated discussions. And we had a discussion on communication. And one day she was saying she was frustrated, like when someone doesn't respond, she said that, because they're not communicating. And I said, yes, they are. I said, that's their communication. She's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's like they're communicating that they don't want to communicate, that they shut down. So even silence is a form of communication that's sending a message. And that can be a relationship killer and a love deterrent, because it's hard to love someone, or it's hard to communicate. It's hard to understand someone who will not speak, someone who constantly shuts down, someone who will not allow themselves to embrace whatever the feeling is that they're having. And I used to operate like that. And I realized it was because I was more afraid that what I was about to say would run you off. So I would rather shut down and not say it at all and just stop talking. Not realizing that behavior pushes people away from you, because you saying that you don't, that's you saying I don't want to communicate, and it makes the other person feel unvalued. And so we have to make sure that we are not cutting ourselves off in that way, using silence, the silent communication, because that is very detrimental to a relationship. And you'll start feeling like you're unlovable, and it can definitely put a relationship in the grave. Because how do you do that? How do we have relationships with people that we cannot talk to? Being able to sit and talk with each other, I think is one of the most precious and intimate times that we can have. That moment of sharing, where there's nothing else that is in between us. There's nothing else distracting us. There's nothing else keeping my attention or keeping your attention, but we're pouring into each other. And that's really what communication is. We're pouring knowledge into each other so that we know how to support each other much better, right? Hey, Chastity, how are you, sis? Thank you for coming in the room. Thank you for coming in the room. We are liking, subscribing, and sharing on tonight. We are opening up this month of February just with a little love talk. We're just talking about love just a little bit. And I'm going to just share a few things I was starting to share from the book that I was a part of. Loving You is Hurting Me. Me and the ladies actually came on and were interviewed by Pastor Sheila on this very network, I believe 2 times, might have been 3, discussing this book, Loving You is Hurting Me. And I was just sharing from my chapter what I thought love was, communicating that or sharing that I did not know what love was. My views of love and my understanding of love constantly changed. My definition of love constantly changed. Haven says communication. Okay, we went there. All right. Poor communication. Some of us don't know how to communicate. Some of us don't. And we have to learn. But I believe we have to get with people. As people, we have to learn to be patient. When we realize that someone communicates poorly, I don't think that we should throw that person away. We have to, when you recognize it, and some of us may not be equipped for this, but I feel that we should, we have to learn how to give people a chance, try to walk them through that experience. And if they trust you enough, say, hey, I would rather, or if you could, maybe instead of responding this way, I just want to talk. Like, I just want to talk. And sometimes we have to reaffirm the person that it's okay to share, even if they're not sharing everything, but I just need you to communicate, because if I'm doing something that is making you feel uncomfortable or unhappy, I want you to know that I would like for you to share that with me. I'm not going to leave you because you don't like it, but let's talk about it so that it doesn't get worse. So when you're a good communicator and they're a poor communicator, you got to give, what's that, like when you graded on the curve, give them a little grace and try to teach them how to communicate better, create a safer space for them to start to share. Sometimes it's going to be like trying to crack open, a nut, and it's just hard to crack through that shell. But when you love a person and you want to see them do better and be better, we will try. And Vaughn is cracking up. Okay. Okay, gotcha. He's cooking while listening. All right, all right. I'm gonna let you have a pass. I'm gonna let you have a pass tonight. Let you have a pass. Otherwise, I would like he would be up here sharing and talking about this love talk, this thing called love. So, again, as I was sharing in the book, because I am a God's girl, y'all know you're gonna get a little Jesus when you get me. One of the things Chastity says, absolutely true. She's talking about the patience that it takes when someone is a poor communicator. And I remember when I couldn't communicate, or it's not that I couldn't, I wasn't communicating very well at all. I was shut down. That was my way of communicating. I shut down, didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to discuss it. And I remember when I used to respond to people and things that way, again, it was the fear of rejection of what I'm getting ready to say. You're going to reject how I'm feeling. You're not going to be able to handle how I'm feeling. You're going to leave because of what I'm feeling. You're going to be upset because of what I'm feeling. You're going to blame me for what I'm feeling. I would have a whole scenario in my mind about what would happen if I communicated how I felt. And sometimes I didn't have the words to say. I didn't really know how to say what you did hurt me. Because sometimes I didn't want to admit that I was hurt, that you got the better of me in this moment, and I'm hurt. I'm hurt behind what you did. I'm hurt behind what you said. I was hurt behind you, not being thoughtful or whatever it was. But we have to come out of those spaces. I've learned that love is only as strong as the errors that it can withstand. So if we can't have open, honest communication, if we can't be truthful and come to the carpet and lay it out on the table how it should be, then we can't be together, in a personal, intimate relationship, because I need to be able to tell you my whole truth. I'll come a long way, even from writing this book. This book we wrote, I think 5 years ago or 4 years ago. And even then, at that point, I think I was at the beginning of this journey of being open and honest about my feelings and acknowledging them. But love is something that withstands. I need to be able to love someone in the space when they feel that they are unlovable. When you're at your worst, that's what we need to be able to do. Because I know when I'm in my worst, I don't want anybody to make me feel worse. I don't want you to throw me away. I want you to wrap your arms around me. Can anybody relate to that? When we're at our worst, when you're feeling unlovable, that's when you need somebody to love you the most, right? I think so. So I want to share a few points about love. And please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button for us on tonight. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything, but it means everything to us. And I thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B. We're not done here. I was just greeting the people who might be watching in the silent section and in the middle. But we got to in our love talk tonight, and we just smooth talking. We just taking it easy, light night flowing through on tonight. I appreciate all the engagement in the space, and the rest of the month, I promise you, you don't want to miss. Y'all know sometimes I kick it back a little bit, have an easy night, because we got to slow it down a little bit. February, we are going to get in touch with our feelings in so many ways when it comes to love. It's going to be love talk, relationship talk all month long. And we're going to have some amazing people on the panel coming in and out to share with us all. So in talking about love and what love is, one of the things I started to write down was, what does that mean? And I had to break it down. What does love mean to me? And I put it into 4 elements because love is a 4-letter word, right? So L, I put down for the word loyalty. And you can do this yourself. Just write the word love, and then, for each letter, write what relates to love, what you relate to love, what you equate love to be for that letter. So the L for me stands for loyalty. That's a big word, right? Because people can be so unfaithful and so disloyal. A lot of times people can throw us under the bus so quick, and sometimes we're throwing people under the bus so quick. Loyalty is a major thing. We all expect it, but how many of us give it? Us being loyal to a person is not, again, I'm going to be with you when everything is great and everything is grand and everything is wonderful. But me staying loyal to you means that even in the hard times, even when you're not at your best, even when things have gone awry, I'm still going to rock with you. I'm still going to believe in you. I'm loyal. My loyalty is to the cause of you. I'm not going to let somebody come along and talk me out of believing in you, or talk me out of being with you, or allow them to talk down. Yeah, none of us are perfect. I'm aware of your issues, but I'm going to stay loyal to you knowing what you're going through. And I'm going to do my best to help you get up and out of that. Don't we all need that? Right? We all need someone to rock with us through our bad times, through our low moments, through our moments and our times of struggle. That is when loyalty comes in and means the most, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. But we got to be able to display loyalty to others and be mindful of who and what you are pledging your loyalty to. I'm going to let that breathe for a second. We cannot give our loyalty to everything and everyone, but make sure that you are being loyal to the things and to the people that are serving you in your purpose, and that you are able to serve in their purpose as well. It's never one-sided. It's never one-sided. It works both ways. But I encourage us just to examine where our loyalties are lying and why they're lying there. Because these choices will help us navigate through these relationship spaces a whole lot better, right? The O stands for obligation. I don't really like for people to do things feeling obligated to me. Although in relationship, I am signing up to be obligated to you, to be there for you, to support you. I'm signing up to be your shoulder, to be the one who holds you down, to be the one who walks through life with you, good, bad, and indifferent. But I don't want you to do it from a place of obligation where it's a weight. And I think that shows up when a person is tolerating you moreover than loving you. My being obligated to you, again, means that I'm going to rock with you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to roll with you through your ups and your downs. I'm going to be obligated to stick with you, to stay with you until you get up where you need to be. And I would, in return, expect the same. Oh, look, we got some people coming in the room on tonight. Let's see who we got coming on to share in this love conversation with me on tonight, with us on tonight. We got none other than my sis, Dr. ND is in the building. Hey, sis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Good
I'm
to
hanging
see
in.
you. Looking kind of special there. Looking all snacks, fantabulous.
You know. Trying to thank you, Mama. So trying to, got to shine for the 2025.
I know. And
Got
you're doing it oh so
to
well.
show up. Thank you, mamas. Appreciate you. I'm glad you popped on. We talking about love, and let's, yeah, we gonna chop it up. And he was here a few weeks ago. Was it might have been last week? I don't know. I have no concept of time right now, y'all. New voice, but not a voice you will not ever hear again. You will continue to hear his voice. He is new in the space, but he is finding his way and making his mark in the room. He is. And the person up, that's right. King Rain is back with us on tonight. Bring him up to the stage. What's good, sir? Oh, all right. We'll celebrate. You brought balloons?
I didn't even know they were there.
Wow. Look at you doing great things.
I don't know
Well,
how that happened.
hey, it's all right. It's all right. You were celebrating. You bring the magic with you.
Oh,
Ta-da. Now we call him. I'm not even. I gotta do it. I gotta do it because I gotta do it right. Yeah, because family is in the building. Family's in the building. So you know how we do a ticker tacker Baptist Coastal. You know how we do. Everyone standing.
Oh, Jesus.
Because the chief apostle, the prophet, doctor, head deacon, oily hands, Pope, Archbishop of the let's see, he is the head minister of the program folding team, and he is the lead driver of the church bus for the Tickataca Baptist Coastal Hold My Mule Church of the Latter-day Saints Lutheran Protestant Catholic Apostolic Pentecostal Church.
Apostolic.
Apostolic. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Youth. Kristen says she's standing. She's standing. Everyone's standing.
I
Maybe
can't with y'all.
everywhere you go from.
I can't.
Even my sis Chastity says she's standing. Yes.
Tortilla. No.
Yes, I love it. We're here for it. Yes, thank you, Chastity. Thank you. You may be seated. Chief Apostle says you may be seated. So on tonight, y'all, we are talking about Kristen is laughing at us. That's what we do as family. It's what we do in our family, y'all. Thank you for joining, King. Thank you for joining, ND. We are talking about love on tonight. And the different aspects, the different facets of it. And I was sharing from the first book that I partnered in called Loving You is Hurting Me. Sharing a little bit from there because we know in the month of February, Valentine's Day, everybody starts on this whole big old love brigade. And we want to make sure that we are loving right and being loved right. Oh, Mama T is in the house, King. She said, right. The ridiculousness. Do you see this, Mama T?
I knew I saw glory somewhere. My God.
Mama T is laughing, and she says, "Apostle."
Mama.
She said it. Tell her, Mama T. Apostle is in the building.
I can't get no help tonight. My God.
Just accept it. Just accept. We love you. We love you. Now, Haven says, "Love should be on the table when you want." What she said, love should be on the table when you won't bleed on with your trauma. I think there's a word there. When you won't bleed on each other with your trauma. Okay, I think that's what she's trying to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, Haven. I might be missing a word in there. Oh, Mama's still spelling it out. She says apostolic.
Apostolic. Oh, wow.
And then she says apostolic. Have a few. It's going down. Y'all excuse us. It's going down on the family call tonight. It's good.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going down. Especially after all that mess on the WhatsApp today. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're not going to talk about it. Different show. So we're talking about this. We're having a love talk today. And the first chapter in this book that I shared in is what I thought love was. So, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to let y'all, Kristen said it's on after this. Yes, it is. As soon as this is over, we're going right on over to the family channel. So Dr. ND, come on and share if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about what you thought love was. That's the first chapter in this book called Loving You is Hurting Me. If you don't mind, sis, tell us what you thought love was versus what you know it is now.
I thought love was supposed to be simple, easy, and sweatless. I've come to know that it is complicated, requires some extensive recon.
Not the recon.
And possibilities of having to blow some stuff up.
Wow. Wow.
But I mean,
We're
that's,
not endorsed by
I mean, like, come on, like that's what we do, because um, love is supposed to be an
New York.
amazing
The New
thing,
York.
but sometimes you be like, I might have to. Sometimes when you in this space or you're getting to know some people, because we are people, we're genuinely we're designed to love. However, every once in a while you may come across a constituent that you might need to blow up because
My goodness.
they're on the wrong they're on the wrong side. So I still believe that love is an amazing thing, especially in this age that I have been allowed to live at. So I've had more time behind me to see what love is not,
Mm.
um, and I am still waiting to see what love is.
Okay.
Um, so I think that may be what it is. I know what it's not. I'm still waiting to find out what it is.
Okay. Okay. I love that though. I do love and appreciate that. I can understand that. We know, right. We've lived enough now to see and have had enough experience in relationships to see what it is not. And I mentioned earlier, like when you were 15 and you had that first relationship and, you thought that it was love and it broke your heart then. And now you 45 still walking around with the scar thinking that you don't deserve anything better because of what happened when you were 15 and you thought and the thought, and you didn't know anything about love. You didn't know anything about romance and what true love is. But because that moment left such a heavy mark, because it was your first experience, we gauge everything else after that first experience. So we base everything else off of that first experience. And a lot of us are walking around feeling unvalued, devalued and unworthy of being loved. No, it's not that. You experienced life, you had a bad moment, a bad relationship, and that's all that it was. And you need to leave it at 15. It does not mean that because that person didn't love you right, that you don't deserve love. That's not on you, that's on them. They didn't know how to handle you. They did not have the capacity to manage you and receive. They didn't know how to value the gem that you are. So why are we still walking around? And I say we because I've been there, walking around feeling, like we are incapable of love and being loved when it's just someone who did not know how to love us. So thank you for that. At 45, listen, you should not be still remembering that Timmy left you sitting after the baseball game and still crying because he didn't walk you home and he walked Shaniqua home instead. I'm just saying, let it go. Let it go. You ain't even walking home no more. You got a whole car in the house. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 kids. Just stop crying. Stop crying over Timmy. You know? And say, come on, I'm sorry. Come on, King. Come and come and share about what you thought love was versus what you know it to be right now. Okay,
Um,
I'm sorry.
no, you're not. Um,
Probably not.
I thought love was supposed to be. I like what ND says. I thought love was supposed to be easy. Thought it was supposed to be um find that person you never, you know, have any bad days. It's always lilies and a bed of roses, right? And then you do this little thing called live, and you realize that that's not the case. Um, she said a lot of good words. Like it's complicated. But I like the word that she used, and I'm gonna kind of expound on that. She said it requires a lot of recon, right? So for those who don't know what recon is, I'll put it to your military terms. So whenever a deployment happens, normally they send a team out there to scope out the land, see what's over there. This is here, this is here, this is placed over here, this is placed over here. Now, when you say that with love, when it comes to the person, or since we're going to talk in the relationship sense, when we talk about recon, is really figuring out how that person operates, how that person thinks, if I'm in a relationship with a woman, my goal is to figure out who she is, her thought process, what ticks her off, what she likes, what makes her smile, what makes her mad, um, her patterns. I'm big on patterns. What are her patterns? How does she act when she's upset? How does she act when she's happy? Her body posture when she's upset. Does she tilt her head to the right, to the left? Does she shake her leg? Like stuff like that. The recon was important because when we talk about loving somebody, you hear a lot of the seasoned people when they talk about love, they say, like finishing each other's sentences, knowing what each other for the most part is thinking about certain situations. I think that was really good when she said that because true love is, people, I'll say it like this. If someone's in a relationship with Dawn, right? People who first encounter with Dawn would think that, oh, probably like, I'm gonna just say it because we do real over here.
We do real. We do real. We do
A
well.
lot of people, a lot of men would run away from Dawn because she's that much of a, what's the word I want to use? Let me say something nice so I don't get virtually slapped.
Play nice. Be nice. Talk nice to me.
She's what I call like bombshell, right? She's a very nice person. She's sweet. She's, look at her, classy, all of this good stuff, right? But there's a certain thing that she has called the South Side, and if you cross that line, you're in trouble. But she has like the confidence in herself to know that she has a standard and she's not running away from that, or
Mhm.
she's not gonna compromise with that standard. Love is compromise, give and take, but there's certain things that you just will and won't accept, right?
Right.
So let's put it in a more broad sense. When you're getting to love somebody, it's really about what am I willing to accept and what am I not willing to accept? What am I willing to compromise? And two people coming together to figure out, can we cohabitate with each other, and does our lifestyles cohabitate? Will I accept certain things about her? Will I won't accept certain things? So what I realize, love is easy. Love is not easy all the time. Love is not love is not a day by day pick it up and put it down type of thing.
Come on.
It's a it can be a very grueling process sometimes because that thing called life happens. And if you say you love this person, you willing to stick through the mud with them, you're gonna throw them to the side. Like I say all the time, a woman who willing to stick through the mud with me when I get to where I'm going, listen, because let's be real, love is really tested during those hard times.
That's it. That's what I said. Yep. That's
When you down or she down, and it's no fault of their own, or let's say it is a fault of their own, are you willing to stick with that person to help them through that? That's when love is really tested. It's when those moments when the sun ain't shining today, it's storming and it's a F5 twister outside, and it's tearing it up. Let's take it biblically. What did Paul say? Love is patient, love is kind, it doesn't boast or brag, like all that good stuff, right? Paul
mhm.
pretty much explained what love is. So, and there was a lot of things that he mentioned what it's not. So, love can be a beautiful thing, love can be amazing, but it takes the right person to bring that out of you and to really take that to the next level because, and also I know what something love is. It'll help you see a lot of things about yourself that you didn't know. I'm a hush. Get off my soapbox. I'm done.
Can I say something in regards to that quickly?
So just give me 1 second. I just want to bring one more person up. I don't keep it all in the queue because she is none other than Coach Nikki. I call her, aka my twin. She was on with me and Mr. Grateful last week. She is in the building and she's gonna lend to this great conversation. I want to get her up on the platform. And hey, Nikki, how are you, beautiful?
I'm amazing, twin. How are you?
You are amazing, girl. You are. Yes, you are. I'm so glad you made it. I wanted to get you up and on here and get you sharing in the conversation. I'm going to give you a minute. I know you was listening in the background. So I'm going to let ND share her share what she wanted to respond. And then I want to read some comments because I want to make sure we get to those. And then I'm going to go right to you if that's all right.
Absolutely.
I love it. I'm so excited. My twin is in the building. Come on, ND, share your share.
So, you know, I always have to come from another spin. And I think that we're talking all about love based on the principles of God because we are believers. But let's talk about what love looks like to that who may not have the same concept and connection that we have from a spiritual context. Love is going to be different based on a person's persona, their mindset, their life, what they bring to the table, what they think they bring to the table. So I think that based on where a person sits in life will determine what love is going to look like to them based on their past, their present, and what they expect their future to be. Um, because I think like this, I do believe that love is an amazing thing when done right. But the question is, what does done right look like? Because
Right.
my done right is not going to look like somebody else's done right. My done right is going to take on a different perspective based on what my past says. My done right is going to change based on what my present says, and then my future may tend to shift the perspective of what I really want because I know when the love that I thought at 20 is not the love that I figured out at 30. And once I hit 40, I had an epiphany. Like I was like, love is overrated. It's taking a whole lot of work, and I'd rather go shoe shopping because it was easier. Because I can get a discount and walk out with more than one. Okay. And I had an option. I had more than one option. So I wasn't just confined to just one choice of love. I had multiple choices of love in all kinds of colors, shapes, and sizes. However, now that I'm 50, I have to reassess that. I still have, the ability to have my choices. But now I have choices based on living life, surviving some things, going through some trauma,
Mhm.
um, and then looking at what I want the remaining part of my life to look like because I got, again, more behind me than I have in front of me. So, love for me is a little bit different at this point. I think my love for me is going to be about a level of consistency and security, opposed to when I was in my 30s, it was about financial. Now I'm not concerned about the financial because I got my own. I just need you to be consistent and show up. So I think that love takes on new dynamics when you live a little bit. So and then that might change next week for me because once you pass 50, you have the option to do what you want to do.
Wait, what?
Without You have the option to do what you want to do once you pass 50, you grown for real. I got a
Or
checking account, I can balance it. I'm grown for real. Yeah, I'm y'all understand. Maybe it's just me, but I'm grown for real. At 50 I get to be like my grandmother at 90. I don't care what you say, I'm grown.
no, it's not just you. It's not just you. And thank you for that share. That was really good. I think when it
It
comes
was the I don't care what you say, I'm grown. I'm sorry. That is hilarious.
at a certain, but it's true though. It's true. It is true. There's a level of not caring that I did not know until I got to the 50 and over part. I didn't know that I could care less. Like that there is such thing as caring less. There is less care that I can give than I'm giving right now and not caring until I got here. And I like it. Yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care. Just don't care. And I'm happy about it. And I'm happy about not caring. And I'm not going to. You want to see me care less than what I'm caring? I can do that too. So no, it is. And don't get us wrong. Don't get us wrong. It's just at a certain point, you know what you want. Um, we become very clear about what we don't want as we go through life and we experience things. You know, like when you keep touching the stove, it only takes one time for you to be like, oh, I don't want that. You know, I don't want that. I don't want that feeling. I don't like this feeling. I don't want this heat, you know, and it doesn't mean that it won't happen again, because the next time you'll remember that you burned your hand and what that feels like, but you're like, because I experienced it, let me see, maybe this time I could try it and work another way around it, you know. And then what happens, we get burned again, but not as bad as the first time, because we didn't enter into it. We entered into it with some knowledge. So we tried to get around it with the knowledge we had, you know what I'm saying? But then we keep trying to make a bad situation good, because we keep trying to figure out, but if I could just work around it, if I can just work around it. And I think that happens when we putting it in these terms, because again, you know, just my moral compass is God. But this is what happens when we get in this cycle of dealing with the same spirit with a different face. You know, it's the, well, she or he is not as bad as the last one. It's similar tendencies, but maybe this time it'll be better because they're not as bad. Like, we got to be careful of those phrases like that. Bad is bad. It's still bad. But why are we settling for the as bad? So when you get to a point, you know, when you've experienced enough, when you have hit your capacity of enough, that is when you start, you know, I don't care what y'all say. You know, I don't care what you stick to your standards. I like what I like, and this is what I like, and this is how I like it, and this is how I want it, and I don't want anything less than that. Can you do that? Do you have the potential, and not just the potential, but are you willing to work that potential to manifest what this is that I want? Am I willing to work my potential, you know, to manifest what it is that I want? But it comes with, I think, love, and the experience comes with the exposure and experience, you know. And no one ever said, I said this, I don't even know what podcast we were on. I was like, where did we get this thought of easy? Like, where did we come up with this concept that things are supposed to be easy? Because it's not. And I think we developed the thought of something being easy because we are looking at people who have already, we are looking at people who are walking in their experience, that are walking in their manifested experience, not in their trials, but we've already gone through the trials. And we're watching them, people who are walking in the results, I want to say, of their trial. And so they make it look like it's easy because they've already been through the fire. You know, like the meal looks real good on the table, but you don't know what it took to cook it because you wasn't in the kitchen when all the ingredients was in different packages. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're thinking, yo, dinner's easy, cooking is easy, until you have to get in the kitchen and do the shopping and do the cleaning and do the prepping and all of that. And then you're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, because, you know, I thought it was, yeah, I didn't know it was like this. Right. We didn't know. So we have to stop with the thought, I feel, of thinking that this is supposed to be easy, because it's not. It's work. You know, so that's my 2 cents on that there. I'm going to read these comments, and then I'm going to turn my twin loose because I'm appreciative she's here tonight. I know she got some good juicy to share. Haven says, before we put love on the table, we should be healed and not bleeding on each other. Love has a fair chance without deceptions or without, love has a fair chance without deception or withheld information. And that's true. One of the things that I would say to that about being healed and not bleeding on each other is that we are in a constant state of being healed. You don't know how healed you are until the weight of something is on that wound. And that's when you find out, like, oh, snap, like something happened. Like I said, I've been divorced 10 years, and something happened that struck a nerve that I didn't even know was still, like, even not even so much alive, but that was even there. And I didn't know that was even a trigger until, because all of this time I hadn't encountered anything like that, you know. So I didn't know that was still there, and I needed to regroup. And it's not that I'm not healed from it, but I said, okay, I'm aware now of where maybe a soft spot is. So it allowed me the opportunity to become aware of that space. And I could then say, hey, listen, I'm still a little sensitive here. You know, see what comes with the communication, but it gives the person the opportunity to walk through something with you. You know, this is an opportunity for us to help each other heal even further. Because some things we are not going to heal from until we partner with someone who can help walk us through and be that support. Like, I'm going to hold you if I have to hold you all night, but I'm going to hold you. You know, nope. I need to help you get through that feeling of being alone and abandoned. So I'm going to be here all night. Nope. I need to walk with you through that feeling of being unheard. So guess what? If I got to drink a Red Bull, I'm going to sit up here and you talk until your face falls off. You know, those are spaces of healing that we have to that we have to be willing to walk each other through, because when we don't, you're leaving that person still stuck in that unhealed space. And in relationships, I don't think we're always willing to take on those type of challenges, but that's where love is needed. And I'm going to love you through what you're going, like, literally. And it's not because I want anything from you. I'm trying to get something to you. You know, that's my 2 cents. Pastor Tammy says, why is it supposed to be simple or carefree or amazing? Love has proven to be sacrificial and painful and selfless. Ask Jesus. Right. She was referring to when we were speaking, you know, with Indy, with King's comment about, you know, when we were talking about in comparison to taking it biblically, because again, God is our moral compass. Whatever yours is, you know, that's what you use in that space. But it's true. You know, if we're going to speak biblically for 2 seconds, right? God so loved the world that he did what he gave. And he gave his son, the only thing that he had, the one of, he gave at the time when everything was at its worst. So why do we think that love is supposed to be the opposite and supposed to be there when everything is great? No, love is made for those times when all hell is breaking loose and there's chaos, and, you know, because that's when you need someone. That's when you need love to cover. That's when you need love to be in that place, because that's what works in getting us up, you know, from our low places. She also says, but society has glamorized it. It's work. Yeah, nobody wants to work anymore. But we don't want to work anymore, but we want someone to work with us. But we don't want to work. I'm going to leave that right there. It's unfair at times. It's hard, but worth it. And the only thing that I would say to that is that when you are loving someone, do not be that person that has someone having your back when you have nothing and you are at your worst and the world is talking you down, and they are the only thing that is talking you up, encouraging you, getting down in the pit with you. And then when you get on top of the mountain and everything is wonderful and you succeeded, and then all of a sudden that person is not important or not valuable anymore, and so you leave that person that helped you build yourself back up. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not be those people. Let's not be those people. Hey, Mama Ava, thank you for joining on tonight. Thank you, everyone, for being in the building on Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. We talking about love on tonight, just having some love talk. Okay, we got Dr. ND in the house. We got Coach Nikki, my twin, in the house. And we got King, the chief apostle, in the building. Yeah, that's how I'm going to say your name every time you come up on here. You got a song now. Yes, you do. I felt it in my shondo. I felt it just, hey, I felt it was a little King. All right, I'm gonna behave. Chastity says love is a definite mirror. It is. And if you don't love yourself, you can't expect somebody else to love you. Because what do you get?
Say it again for the people in the front. Thank you.
Okay, because I specialize for people in the front. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect somebody else to love you? You have to have some love of self. I have said, I do not like everything about me, but I love all of me every day. There are things about Dawn that I don't like, that I'm working on, that I'm trying to improve on, and I'm trying to get me together every day. But every day, I love everything. I love all of me every day, while I'm working on the things that I don't like. And even in the midst of that, in those situations, it's hard to think that someone loves the things about you that you don't like. But when you love you, they can embrace that and get with it. Let me see, I just got a few more comments, and then I'm going to turn Nikki loose in the building. Haven says, real love in marriage done right is a beautiful symphony and a ministry. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Kristen is saying, hey, Nikki. For each person, life is different, Chastity says. Let me see. Mama T was okay. And then Mama Ava was talking to me. She was saying it has to be her. I get excited. I get excited with the love, y'all. And then D says from Disney and the Hallmark Channel. Lies from the pit. Disney and the Hallmark Channel. Lies from the pit that they tell. Lies from the pit that they tell. So those are through our comments. We are going to move on. I was sharing with them from this book that I partnered in writing, Loving You is Hurting Me. It was one of the very first books that I wrote, and not one of this, the very first book that I took part in. And the first chapter that we wrote on was what I thought love was. So we were sharing on what we thought love was versus what we know love is now. So you could take it away, twin, any way you want to, whatever it is, the floor is yours.
First of all, thank you for the invitation. Y'all were talking. I'm thinking about love. So many things I got to tell you.
Come on.
I have a lot of comments. I'm not going to talk about King, how King was eating on the camera, but I love you, King.
And not sharing. And not
talking. Then it was
I'm just getting off of work. Goodness.
I love you, King. So I'm about to shock the world probably because I subscribe to some different things a little bit differently. You had mentioned earlier about falling in love with the same spirit in a different person. I learned in my 48 years, if that's the case, I need to go get some healing and some deliverance because the common denominator in all those people would have been me. So why am I falling in love with the same spirit in a different person? And to end that cycle, you got to go get fixed. You got to go get help. You got to go get what we talked about last week, and that's some therapy. Go find out what's going on in me that I keep drawing the same person. And then when you all were talking about loving the wrong person, and I'm sorry, not loving the wrong person, you were talking about love not being easy. I subscribe a little bit differently. I believe that love is easy. Loving the wrong person, or being in love, I should say, in an intimate, committed relationship with the wrong person, that's where it's hard. That's what's not easy. If I'm meshed together with somebody that's meant for me, we may have to navigate some things that to my flesh may not be easy because I got to give up my independence. I have to give up the way that I like to do things all the time for the way that my spouse would, right? Partner would. That's when I have to look at my expectations. That's when I have to look at my willingness, my willingness to do things a little different, my willingness not always right. Those things may be hard. That's when it's not easy. But loving the right person for Nikki, that's easy. It's when Nikki has loved the person that wasn't supposed to be, who she was covenanted with and partnering with and journeying with. That's when it was hard as heck. And I wanted to run from that thing. So
I did.
say again?
I said I did. I ran.
Facts. Girl, been there, done that. Been divorced since 2007, so I feel you. Another thing is you were mentioning about how God gave only. That's sacrifice. And when it comes to love, love in some areas is sacrificial. I do not think it means sacrificing my spirit. I do not think it means sacrificing everything God has built up in me. So now I lay everything down to appease you. I don't think that that's the point of sacrifice, but I do think that there are things that I, as as a single woman, may do. I would have to decide if I'm willing to sacrifice to be with somebody in a marriage, and that is why at this point I'm not married. Not because my expectations are outrageous, but it's just some things at the age of 48. Excuse me. I don't want in my life anymore. And nor do I want to sacrifice my desire to travel the world and travel with my next book and to do certain things in my life because the person that I decide to go get with, they like to stay at home and do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So there are certain levels of sacrifice I won't make anymore. There are areas of myself I will not sacrifice again because God put too much work into building me back up. But I do know that there are areas in me that I will need to willing to lay down in order to have love or to in a relationship.
That's good stuff. That's some good stuff. Oh, he's clapping. He's snapping for you.
Okay.
Just a mess. Just a mess. Y'all like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. It is free 99. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. And thank you, Coach Nikki. You said some great and amazing things. I was writing them down. Like you said, loving the right person is easy. And I can agree with that. I still stand, but I'm like, things just are not always easy. But yes, loving the right person is easy. It comes easy. And I think that with that also, the easier that it is to love the right person, it just creates a greater space for you to be able to let love show up when the hard times show up. When we are, like you said, making the choice of, with being with the wrong person, and loving the wrong person is hard. And if loving you is already hard, when hard times come, it's just going to be greater, and make a greater dent in what's something that's already broken. So, I appreciate that comment so much. You got me thinking about it, in a different way. And that's true. And then you mentioned about it being sacrificial, as we all have from different perspectives. I think I'm becoming of the mindset that even being an unmarried person or a single person, however you want to term it, versus when you get into a relationship and when you get into marriage, at this point in my life, I don't want to look at it as a sacrifice. Like, I'm not giving anything up. I'm not losing anything. I want to be with the person that I can say I can still bring all of me to the table, and it be in addition to, because what I'm bringing, not even to what I'm bringing is to add. I don't have to, if I have to let pieces of me go, I start to question now. Well, is this really where, because like you said, God worked too hard on me to get me where I am. So am I losing something that I need just to be with you? Like you said, you don't want to give up the book tours. You don't want to give up, your schedule. Because you work too hard to get here. So then it makes me question, like, you could be a really nice person, but maybe we're still not the right fit in that respect, and I know that's a personal choice that you have to make. Mm-hmm.
So a revelation the Lord gave me, I don't know if you were on that particular live, but I shared it a while back. So for 48 years, God has taken amazing care of me, right? He provides for me. He cares about everything that concerns me. He cares when my heart is hurt. He sings over me. I can lean into him. I can lean on him. He's my strength and he's my provider. What he's not going to do is then turn around and give me to a man that's less than that. What happens is we get lonely. We start to compromise. We get into a place where I'm just ready to have me somebody. And we start to say, we see God, this might be the Lord. This might be my husband. We begin to say those things. He's not even equaling up to some of what God was doing. Why does it make sense that God would take such amazing care of you, then give you to someone that does less than that? So if you're in a situation where you're now sacrificing yourself, you are compromising the best parts of you, you're laying down parts of you that God just built up in you to be with someone, you have to ask yourself, is this who God wants me to be with? Or is this who my flesh is desiring right now because I'm alone? Because I'm feeling the effects of being lonely? Because if we stop and you think about the things that are hardest in relationships, are they that hard? You may have linked up with the wrong person. I mean, just think about it. I don't argue with God. I got peace with him. But then God gives me a man that I got to argue with every single day. Was that God or was that me? So that's why for me, my philosophy is it's easy to love the right person. It's hard when I'm in love with the person that's the wrong person? Will there be moments where I have to decide, Nikki, you gonna lay down and compromise because you like to have it your way all the time so they can have it? That might be a hard moment because when you're single, you have to, who you compromising for? You can put it over the over under on the toilet paper. You can squeeze from the top or the bottom. You can drink out the milk carton if you want. It's when you go get with someone
Right,
when, when,
right.
when they have a different way of seeing life and living life where you have to decide in those moments what makes it hard. If it's so hard that you fight and argue, cry and do all the things, I can't say that that was God. That was Nikki that chose that man. So now it's hard.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. You're right. It is definitely self-assessment. And here you go. He's clapping again. It's definitely self-assessment, and you have to really, take ownership for your thoughts, your decisions, and say what was me. I think,
Ooh,
yeah,
you,
I'll
you
fess
said
up
you said a magic word.
with ownership,
Own, own it. Ouch.
ownership, and the accountability.
So
Hey,
one thing love is going to do is show you yourself and where you need work at, and then it becomes the question of are you are you willing? Not even willing, because if you say you love this person, and let's say let's say I get with somebody and I have a tendency or something that they don't like. I don't see it, but then a situation presents itself where that tendency happens. Now I realize what they mean. Now I realize why they don't like it. Am I gonna make the necessary changes, or am I just gonna stick in pride and say, and like Nikki said, just not willing to, you know, um, I wouldn't even call that a sacrifice because that's just called self-reflection and self-work. I mean, to me, when I think of, I wouldn't even say it's a sacrifice. I don't even think that's the right word. It's just about, you know, like you said, when the mirror is shown, if you don't like what you see, it's either you going to change it or you going to stick to it, and then down the road, you just going to end up miserable and by yourself.
that part.
Because like you say, you single, you can get do what you want. But when someone comes along and you say, I love this person and I want to be with them, am I going to make the necessary changes just like I would expect of them? If I say, hey, I really didn't like the way you spoke to me, I need you to work on that. Cool. And vice versa. It's like it's a constant cycle of realizing things about yourself, realizing things about the person, and doing the work that it takes to make it work. Because this, I ain't gonna say my age because I don't want to be called a baby, but
You don't have.
I've 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 witnessed and seen a lot of things and even been in situations where one thing love is not gonna be for me anymore is one sided. That's out the question.
Absolutely.
There is no such thing to me as one sided love. That's a myth.
I call those one chips.
It's a bar. Wow.
That's not going to happen. That's what I call it.
I call
That's
those.
a bar.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's
I
not an option. That's not an option.
Right.
It's either like we mentioned before when we were talking about relationships. I bring all of me, you bring all of you, and we put this together and make this thing work. That means the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, that thing that other people didn't, see good in you. I see it, the bad, okay, good, we can work on that. But at the end of the day, love can surpass all. Love can look past a lot of things. Well, not look past, but love can work through a lot of things. If we're gonna talk about the moral compass, I mean, we ain't perfect, but God still loves us.
Right. Right.
It's a lot of things that God reveals to us on a day-to-day basis that we have to work on. He ain't pushing us to the side. We make mistakes on a daily basis, and we go to God and repent. Oh, repent means to what? Change. Because
Right.
saying one thing and doing another thing is two different things. I can tell a person all day, I'm sorry, I apologize. Well, what's going to be done about it?
That part.
Yeah, because that one-sided stuff, that's not even in 2024. That never happens for me anymore. I don't know where people get that from.
It's not a
Mm-mm.
thing, and it never should have been a thing because that's not what love is reciprocal. It's like the infinity symbol. And for me, I realized, like, um I had the outline of the infinity symbol, but it had the drawn lines like on the highway and the street with the brakes in them. So stuff was slipping all out. It made it down, but never made it back up. So
Mm.
I had to color in my lines and make sure that they were filled in properly and the edges where they were. So if you don't fit into that flow or the infinity, it should be automatically reciprocal with the ebbs and flows. When you're on top, I may be at the bottom, but I'm at the bottom pushing you up. And when you're at the bottom, I'm at the top, and I'm at the top, and you're pushing me up. We're holding. It's an even exchange because whether you're at the top or the bottom, it's still that we are pushing one another or holding each other down or pushing each other up, so that we can both get to where we need to be, and we're doing it together so that we both prosper and we both win. And if you're not having that experience, then sometimes I feel like you got to pause and reflect and really look and think. But then again, everybody's definition of love and what they're looking for in love is
That's
different.
different.
So
Hmm.
you gotta ask
That's true.
that question. Like when you say you love me, what does that mean? What does that look like? And I need your words to match your actions. And actually, I need your actions. Even if you never say a word, I need your actions to show it. It's like
Mhm.
you're loved when you feel loved. That's when you know. You know,
Mm.
um, that is a clear indicator that is when you are loved. I want to read a comment. Um, Let me stop cleaning. Put my glasses on. All right, it's a
Oh,
sacrifice.
Jesus.
It's a sacrifice to give up your single thoughts, ideas, and options to consider someone else. Bring a renewed mind to the relationship. Exactly. Now, the only reason why, for me, I struggle with the term of it being a sacrifice, for me, is more of a choice. It's a choice. A sacrifice when we think about it. And this is just Dawn. This is not, I love the comment. And this is just how I relate. I don't want it to be, I don't want to have to, and this could just be because of my experience at this point in life. I don't want to have to sacrifice another thing. I want to choose to give you what you need. Because the sacrifice is sometimes us giving something that we don't have. I have it, but I don't
Mm.
have enough, if I'm making sense. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm just saying for Dawn, I'm at a point where I don't want it to be that because when I've done that, it left me on empty. And I've been saying this a lot lately about your cup and your saucer. What's in the cup is for you, and what's on the saucer is what you share. And you should never give anything that you can't afford to go without. So for me, those sacrifices left me like really, really empty. And I don't want to go back to that. I want to make sure that I'm making the choice to not to give up, but to exchange my single thoughts because this is where I want to be. So it's not a sacrifice for me to give it up. It's a choice because I'm getting more. And again, it's just Dawn. It's just Dawn. And we're having a conversation.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing because the sacrifice is kind of something that you would struggle to give up. That you feel like you're at a loss when you give it up. Like you
Yeah,
feel like I'm losing this when I really don't want to give it up, but because it's you, okay. No. Mm-mm. That's why
yeah,
I say I don't. That's why I struggle with the word sacrifice because sacrifice is to me it's just yeah. I'll just leave it at that. It's something that to me sacrifice is something that you are willing to take a loss with. I mean, giving up my singleness for someone to me, I'm not losing anything.
right.
I'm gaining someone. You know.
Yeah.
So that's to me, that's not really a sacrifice. That's just the renewed. When she said a renewed mind,
Mhm.
that that's A1. That's fire. Renewed mind for sure, because definitely come with an open mind because You have to learn this person. They have to learn you. So be open and willing to even learn from that person.
Right. I
I
agree.
I actually kind of agree with what Dorothy is saying, though. It would be a sacrifice to some, because a sacrifice can also be something that you like, you love, and you're giving up for someone else. That's what God did with Jesus. So if you don't think anything, use your example, King. If you don't think anything wrong with how you say things, but you love Don, and Don tells you, but when you that hurts me, you could feel that you're absolutely right and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm willing to give up something that I like and love for her because it makes her feel this way. I'm gonna stop doing it for her. That is sacrificing. That's not you having yourself revelatory moment where you like grow up here. Something about when you say it to her, you mean nothing by it, but in a way causes her to feel away, willing to stop because you love her.
That's true. That's true. I love that perspective. And that's what I was saying, for me, just where I'm at. And I know that there are some sacrifices in relationships, so I don't want that to get misconstrued. Like like you're gonna
For
have
sure.
some things you sacrifice. For me, I think that sacrifices happen now when we are together, and for what we're building for, like we're gonna have to give up some stuff to get where we're going. And I do understand, and I do love that perspective or
Mhm.
example that you gave, Nikki, that there are some things that we do have to sacrifice and give up that we enjoy for the sake of the one that we love, you know. But I just feel what because I just feel that I've come to the place of making a clearer choice, that it's that
Really.
decision because you're worth more than whatever this is. Like I don't see it as a loss. Like King was saying, I'm done with this so that I can have you. It only gets better. Whatever this is not more important to me than you. So, to me, I end up winning in the end, whether that be through, but I do get the point that you're making, the angle of that sacrifice in that sense, that makes sense. I hope this is helping y'all tonight. We're just talking about love today. Mama Ava says, I'm still working on me daily within my marriage. And that is a daily, we all working on us daily with just within ourselves, so working on it, within a marriage is even, yeah, you have to, because every day you're evolving, every day you're becoming as one, you're becoming more of one day by day. You better clap, King, okay? Clap. Every day we
There
are,
is no one. Ooh, child, take the water.
there's no one
Take
size fits all. It's not. It
take
is
the
not.
water.
Every relationship is different. Every dynamic is different.
Yeah.
Every um and guess what? And no 2 days are the same. What we did today may not work tomorrow. But whatever we doing, I just want to know that I'm doing it with you, and you doing it with me, and we're doing it together, and we figure it out. I believe that that's what love does. Love sticks together in all of these things. I'm like, was there another point? No. All right. So we have. Oh, hey there. Hey, the Intellectual Soapbox. Thank you for joining us on tonight. So salute to the Bravo with Sheila Network. Salute to the panelists. Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. We just doing a little love talk tonight. That's all. We just have a little love conversation with Coach Nikki, with King Rain, and with Dr. ND. And meet your girl, Lady Dawn B, right here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. That's what we do. So we've just been given a light, brief discussion, talk on love. This month of February, we're going to be talking about love all month long. We have an amazing lineup coming. We're going to end the month with a love game. The game of love is what we're going to talk. We're going to do it. We're going to do the game. Y'all ready to play the game of love? Are you ready to make it happen? Make it do what it do? We also going to be talking about intimacy and intentional healing. That's going to be real, real, real good. And we're going to be talking next week. I believe we're talking about selfishness versus selflessness. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. We hitting it hard. We hit because listen, It's the month that people declare their love the most. People gonna be buying rings and proposing, and ain't gonna be no chocolate found nowhere, and no teddy bear gonna be safe, and there's gonna be no flowers left anywhere, not here or heaven, by the time the month is over. But we gotta make sure that while we do, I said what I said. I see you, King. I said what I said. But while we're doing
They can't take from God.
all right, well, tell the people. He's very adamant about it. Okay, so just here, not in heaven, because apparently it's upsetting King because you can't take from God. So we're not gonna take God's flowers.
You can only get there when you meet him in peace. Whew, I felt that.
Yeah,
My God.
get your brother.
Sorry.
Get your brother.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But we
I
want
felt
to
that.
make sure that while we are doing these gestures this month, that it is not that the outward expression matches our inward feelings. Make sure that when you're saying that you love someone, that you are loving them fully, totally, good, bad, indifferent, good hair day, bad hair day. When the struggle is real, just like when everything is perfect and on top. Don't just make a grand gesture inner, um, without any inner content. Don't just do it because it's the day. If you're not loving me on November 11th, don't try to love me down on February 14th.
Listen.
Because that one day, when that day
Say
is
it
over,
again.
if you're not loving me hard on November 11th, don't try to love me down on February 14th.
That's when they buy the expensive chocolate, right, Coach Nikki? They buy the expensive chocolate. You don't get the
They get
Cadbury. You get the Godiva.
No, you don't get that queen, you don't get that queen candy with that nasty cherry in the middle.
the cordials. You're not gonna get
The
we gonna
pork
get
beans.
forget that with the one that you
Pork
buy
beans.
in CVS. You're not gonna get that
You
day.
gon' you gonna get them ones that they made by their hand that got that sweet cream in the middle of it.
Now don't play with it. Don't play with it because I make chocolate. Now I hand make.
Really?
Me too. But no, no king. I don't want that cream in the middle. Give me chocolate covered nuts, caramel. Give me the good stuff.
Okay.
No cream and no cherries. Don't
So
spend
no
$100 on me and be like, here, baby, I know you like chocolate. Don't do that.
Like today,
so none so none of the regular chocolate covered strawberries no more? You're not accepting that?
I love that, but you said cream. You say chocolate covered strawberry.
now watch your voice.
I make,
I'm just asking because there's some people who would say that's basic. I'm just
no, I make chocolate covered strawberries
Come
myself.
on,
It's-
Can you send something to me?
That's intentional. But a box of
we
quick
get you some.
cardinal, that's
Thank
basic.
you
You're welcome. I got
so much.
You
Thank you.
ain't think about that. You passed by and was like, oh, let me get a box of that.
I
right.
mean, because that's the thing. When you really love someone, you're gonna put thought into everything you do for them.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That ain't
Like it ain't just gonna be no. Oh, I just no. I'm gonna speak for me, and that's the only male up here. If you rock with it, you rock with it. If you don't, you don't. If I say I love a woman, if I hold on, let me change the words. If I say I'm in love with this woman, uh-oh,
That's
that's
different.
another
Right.
that's another conversation. That's
It's,
another conversation.
it's different.
Um, if I say I'm in love with this woman, and I know, okay, let's say like Nikki just said, chocolate covered strawberries, right? Hmm, Valentine's Day is coming up. Interesting. What we could do is get the strawberries. I'm Caribbean, so I'm gonna get some good ones too. Um, we can buy the chocolate, and let's say she works later than me. Come home, it's dark in the house, but you come in the kitchen, this candle's lit, there's flowers all over the place. We gonna do this together.
I
See?
ain't mad at that. I just told you I like to make chocolate covered strawberries.
No,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying. Why did he turn out the lights? I'm a child of light, not darkness. My God. Um, no, excuse me. I'm out here looking like I'm walking down the street with my reflective vest on.
Lord Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.
Yep. I pray for
Yeah,
you.
when you love somebody, you're gonna put extra thought when you're in love with someone. It ain't gonna be just regular. That nah. Mm-mm. Cause to me, when I'm in love with a woman, she ain't regular. Cause
Don't. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. You know, when you love someone, it should be known, and you should know that. And when you're in love with someone, it's just your love on steroids. You know, it's a greater depth and a greater level, and we continue to grow in love. No, I didn't fall in love. I stepped. I made a conscious effort and put my step. So when you fall, you trip. That means you didn't mean to do it. You may not have meant to go this far. You know, you may not have meant to open yourself up this far, but through the relationship, it's what happens. And then at a certain point, I made the choice to put both my feet into this, 10 toes down. And that way I know I'm anchored in. I don't want to fall. I need to step both feet, you know, and because then that's my
I,
decision.
I meant to do this.
Right.
I was supposed to be here. That was the goal was, right?
There you go. There you go. That's what it is. And that's for me. That's what it is. And that's what
I
it has
never
to.
thought of it like that.
No, yeah. Chastity says love is a constant choice, not a holiday. That's right.
That's a bar. Good
Not.
gracious.
It's a daily choice. I wake up every day and I choose to love you today. Even if I don't like you very much right now, I still love you today. It's a moment. I may not like you in a moment. You might not like me. I could have a really
Right.
bad attitude today. You might not like me right now, but you still choosing to love me. And for me, it's like it's important that when those moments come, if I'm in an attitude or I'm in some kind of way, you be like, you know what, babe? Okay, I'm not really liking you right now, but I love you. You know, I'm gonna love you through the day because I made the choice. Because right now, you know, you're not being so likable. You
You
know,
better fix it by tomorrow.
right? Oh, I'm gonna give you right. You got to put a cap on it and get
Well,
it
you
together.
sleeping on the couch, not me.
Oh no, I don't believe in that. No, that's against the rules. We ain't doing that. I might like you, but okay. That's after dark. That's after, oh, it's past 8:30. It's after dark.
I'm saying it is past 8:30, so
8:30. We usually turn the corner. We did good tonight. We didn't go left, but see now it started. Now we going left. Yeah, no, it ain't no. We not going to bed mad. I need my toe to touch your toe. I need, we ain't doing that. Whatever, my foot on your leg, however you need to work it out. I might be mad, but I'm still gonna touch your feet. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. I don't care if you like it. That's what it is. That's
this is
just
why I'm
how.
gonna talk about you when you touch me. Get your crusty foot off me.
Wow, I would be like, no, I will not. You can say whatever, and you do that, I'm gonna do it even more. Then that's when I'm gonna scoot right next to you, knowing that you mad, and I'm gonna do it on purpose. There you go. Right. That's not gonna work. That didn't work out. But we hope that
I'm gonna
this
say it's hot in the middle of January. Move.
nobody cares. You sweat before you'll be all right. You're gonna make
Oh,
it.
that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, that's what love does. You're gonna love me whether you want to or not right now. That's what
Oh,
it
I
is.
still love you, but get off me.
That's not gonna happen. That's a no. I will not. Off you in the morning when it's time for you to go to work. Okay, that's when I go off you. But for tonight, this is where we are. So just while you are in love and considering love, we want you to just be mindful of making the right choices and understanding what love is, what that looks like to you, and how you need to be loved and express love. So
Mm.
I want you to consider these few things, and then we're gonna have our closing comments, and we are going to wrap it up for tonight. I'm going to end with a little bit of poetry, but one of the things that I did was I took the word love and broke it down for me, and you can do this in your own time. I wrote, you write it out, and each letter stands for something. And for me, love simply stood for loyalty, obligation, vulnerability, or validate, and effort. Those are four key elements that I need, that I need to give first of all before I even ask for someone to give it to me. So for me,
Mm.
loving you, I'm gonna give you loyalty. I'm going to make sure you understand that there's a degree of obligation that I'm committing to you, that I'm going to show up being vulnerable. I'm going to make sure that I validate your
That's a
feelings
big one.
are, and you're going to see the effort that I put into making sure you feel loved and knowing that you are loved. So that's for me. So we're going to go around. We're going to go to Indy, going to go to Coach Nikki, and then we're going to go to King. Let's have our final comments, and then I want to read this poem, and we are out. Indy, you missing? She might be missing. Come on, Coach Nikki.
So I didn't know that was the assignment. So I'm gonna say, for me, I need you to listen.
Mm.
Oh, I'm still working on it. Oh, V is definitely vulnerability, and E would be make it easy for me. Make it easy for me. The last thing I would say is let your actions match your confession.
Hmm, that's good stuff.
Because I listen with my eyes. I listen with my eyes. So let your actions match your confession.
Let your actions match your confession. I think
Mm.
ND may have stepped away. Come on, King. What's your final comment, sir?
Do I need to break down the love thing right now?
You don't have to at the moment.
Oh, because I was about to cheat and say L is for the way you look
But we
at
know, we
me.
know how you do. So
Oh,
come on, you
it's
do. Go.
for the only one I see. He is very, very extraordinary. He is even more than anyone that you adore and love. I'm here all week.
Okay,
All week.
Right.
all of the week.
All of it. No, but for real though.
Okay.
I like what they were like how y'all was saying. I'm gonna think about mine. Being a poet, I'm gonna actually put something together for that. Now that you mentioned it. But I would say, but the key things I would say with love is make sure it's real, please. None of that fake stuff, because that fake stuff can get exposed real quick. Make sure it's real, make sure it's genuine, and be willing to put in the work for it. Because love is work, and it's every day, every day. I might, yes, I would say it's a job because it's you got to work at it together and just make that's the main thing. Make sure you're willing to do it together, not this independency thing. I don't know how people can be in a relationship but still stay and act like they're independent, like they're by themselves. I don't know how that operates. I don't know how that works. I don't know how people do it. But last time I checked, you're not by yourself. You have someone with you. So do it together. Make sure it's real, and it can be. And I love how Nikki said it. Make it easy for me because I agree with the statement. It is easy to love the right person because then you're going to be willing to do the work with the person because they create an environment for it to happen. So when both people create the environment in the you have the vulnerability and you trust that person enough to you know you trust them with your feelings, you trust them with those dark things that no one else knows about but that person. So it's really all of you. You trust them with all of you. They trust you with all of them. Now let it flourish. Plant the seed, water it, and make it flourish.
That
Oh,
part.
watch your voice.
I ain't
Watch.
know we was doing poetry slam night. I like poetry. I love to write me some poetry.
We gonna do some poetry now. We gonna have poetry night. Don't
I'm
play.
saying I got a few
I
I got a few
know.
pieces. You
I
hear
love
me?
writing some poetry. But come on
No,
with yours. Come on, twin.
we gonna have poetry. We gonna have poetry night. I did it a while ago, and I said I'm bringing it back. Do it again. Um, and you there? She might not be. Okay. So again, I thank everybody for joining in on this conversation on tonight. Let me find my. I got it. Um, Again, we just wanted to have a soft talk about love as we are opening up our understanding because we always want to show up as the best version of ourselves every day, every chance we get to. And we want to make it very clear that you deserve love, but you got to make sure that you're giving love. Know your worth and don't take any.
Mm.
The listen, the price is the price. The price is the price.
And it's not coming down.
Right.
It's
There's
set.
no discounts. Right. We don't say save up if you have to, but the price is the price. So I want to make sure to invite you guys back next Thursday night at 7 p.m. Again, we're going to be talking about selfishness versus selfless love, selflessness in love. And so
Mm.
tonight I'm going to end with this little poem that I wrote in my last book that me and my poetic partner Antoinette Saunders wrote, called Soul Poetry Matters of the Heart. And you can find it on Amazon. And we did the Audible version, and we are trying. It should be out soon for those who can listen. But the book is out for real, for real. So I'm going to read this, and then we're going to close for the night. It's called Undeniable Love by me. And then we're going to have tonight for real. And it says, I want to be in undeniable love. You know, the kind of ride or die love that you're my sun, moon, and sky kind of love. The kind of love that makes you lose your breath. Time stands still. Miss you when you're far. Want to be closer. I haven't read this in a minute, y'all. Want to be close to you when you're near. That smile for no reason, giggle because of an image of your face, laugh out loud when you're not around because of something you did the other day, kind of love. That I smell the linger of your cologne in the air because I closed my eyes. I closed my eyes. I closed my eyes and I thought of you. The kind of love that satisfies mind, body, and soul because you speak life to me with every word that flows from your lips. And I return the same in like kind. And the exchange we build. This is the mental exchange. It's the best exchange. It's the exchange by which every other exchange is rooted in because you appeal to me, the inner me, all of me. I want to love you undeniably. You know, the kind of love every man deserves because you are a king and I see you as such. So I serve you without hesitation or reservation because I'm honored and built to hold your secrets, your pains, your struggles. And when you depart from my presence, no one would ever know or see that an issue existed with you in our undeniable love. You emerge perfected, flawless, and standing tall. I emerge protected, secure, and ready to give the world my all because you and I, which makes a we have been forged in our love undeniably. That is undeniable love by me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. We are gonna get poetry.
Okay,
We get
let me find out.
oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. I was gonna hit y'all off with Oasis, but that might be a little too much. It is a little. It's after 9. You know, it's after 9.
I got a good one too. I'm gonna save it for poetry night too.
We gonna make poetry night happen, and we just gonna come and spit our bars and have a good old time. But that's undeniable love by
Good
me. Thank
stuff.
you
Good
guys.
stuff.
Thank
Come
you
on.
guys.
Let me tell you, you got skills with the words. Come on through. What's the
Where
skills
she
with the
come
words?
from?
Yo, I like to say a little something. I like to say a little
Come
something,
on
something.
through. Now I'm gonna listen to poetry now. I don't know if I can add anything to it because I'm still working on my delivery.
That's okay. That's okay. You know what you come give what you can give, and that's all right. It's okay. Um, so I want
Nikki gonna bring this. Nikki gonna bring the snapping fingers.
to.
He got skills with poetry. Don't play, King.
Oh,
Come on, y'all. Y'all
Huh?
go ahead. I'ma just let me. I'm gonna support you,
I ain't
and
say you
come
didn't.
MC, Andy. You could
I'm
come
gonna
MC.
support y'all. I'm gonna sit and look cute while y'all do y'all thing.
You gonna MC. You gonna be part of it.
I
Even if
can, yeah, I can MC. That I can do,
right, we gonna make it happen.
I could do that real good.
Coming to the stage from the south side.
Nah, I'm gonna be a little bit crazier than that. I'm gonna make them laugh and get them
We
ready.
gonna
Like,
make it
let's
happen
go,
for
y'all.
April. We gonna make it
Hey, we
happen.
can. We can.
The black women can't write.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, actually, we can make it happen for the end of this month if y'all want. You know, we could. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about because April
Let me
kind of
know
long.
because I'll just be coming back. I gotta know because I'm kind of crazy. I'm leaving to go to the islands.
I got you. Well, we gonna make it happen. happen.
Yeah,
Take me with
going
you.
for business. I'm going for
No, you
business.
can't go. It's not your turn.
Huh?
No,
What you said? What you say, Apostle Archbishop?
Nothing.
State?
no.
Oh,
All right, is everyone standing? Everyone standing for
Look,
the
what you said? What you said? I'm following the trend. What you said? Archbishop presiding prelate
town.
at,
Pope,
at the superintendent.
uh-huh, all of that.
now
All
superintendent. What are we doing? Like,
you know what we
I
doing.
can't, there's no more names left. There's nothing left.
That's not
Dawn
true.
took them all.
There's a your Episcopal seat. Yes,
When
there is. Yes.
I
Good night, Miss
Good
Vicky.
night, everybody. Come back next Thursday
Nice
night
to see
at
you.
7
Nice
p.m.
to
We're gonna
meet
talk about
you. My
selfishness,
hair not comb. That's why you can't see me. So you gotta look at my picture.
and we're gonna work out some poetry for the end of this month. But like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Andy Brown. Thank you, Coach Nikki. Thank you, King Reigns, the newest voice, but he will be helping us. He will be back. He is back. They'll all be back. Join us next week. Hang out for a second, guys. I love y'all. And we are about to be out.
good night.
Pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I might as well get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informant, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat. Drop, putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots. Ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'm gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life.